Hey everyone, and welcome back to Cooking with Sal. Today we're going to be doing something a little different. So today we're going to be doing a challenge. Sydney and I put a bunch of different baking ingredients into a bowl. We have matcha, liquor, cranberries, coconut, banana, chocolate, anything you could think of is in this bowl. We're going to mix it around, and the first three ingredients that I pick, I'm going to have to make a dessert with. So, first ingredient is coconut. Okay, not mad about this. All right, the second ingredient is gonna be maple syrup. Very nice. Okay, I think we can work with this. And then the third ingredient, I'm like kind of hoping for chocolate here. Matcha. Okay. I think we can do something really fun with this. I think these ingredients really complement each other and we can do some really cool dessert with this. I'm gonna do some research and some brainstorming, and then Sydney and I are gonna go to the grocery store. So let's see what happens. All right, I got my reusable bags. Let's go. So now that we just came back from the grocery store, I have all my ingredients laid out in front of me, and I've decided to make matcha, coconut, maple glazed scones, which I think are gonna turn out so well. I have a cream tea scones recipe that I already use at home, but I'm gonna mix around and play with that to accommodate the ingredients that I picked out, and this recipe is no fail, so let's get started. I'm gonna start off by adding 2 cups of heavy cream. It's also known as whipping cream in the store. These are my wet ingredients that I'm starting off with. So 1 cup, 2 cups, perfect. And then I'm also gonna throw in 6 eggs. This recipe will yield about 24 scones, so that's why I'm going with such big quantities. My 12-year-old self would binge watch Cake Boss, and the one thing that I did remember was how to crack an egg with one hand. Oh yeah. Now I'm gonna throw in 2 teaspoons of vanilla, because vanilla complements matcha so nicely. 1, 2. I think I got all the yolks. I'm hoping I did, because the color's showing that I did. I'm gonna put this mixture aside, and then we're gonna start with the dry ingredients. Now that I have my dry ingredients set out, I'm gonna start by doing 6 cups of flour, and I'm gonna sift them so there are no clumps, and it helps scones be a little lighter when you do the sifting. I'm also gonna throw in my matcha now. Most matcha scone recipes that I looked at just to compare do about a tablespoon of matcha, so that's what I'm gonna throw in. I'm using ceremonial grade, which is the grade that you drink. It's the highest grade. But you can also use a culinary grade, which is a little bit lower. I know you can get it at Costco. Do what you want to do. Now, since everything's sifted, I'm gonna add in 2.5 tablespoons of baking powder. Just gonna help them get nice and fluffy. And I'm just gonna give them a light whisk to make sure everything is incorporated nicely. Yeah, these are gonna be nice and green, I can tell. I think I put the perfect amount of matcha in. Now I'm gonna cut in some cold butter. I have 3/4 of a cup here. I'm just gonna cut a little bit up with my knife into cubes, and then I'm just gonna mush it in with my pastry blender. The reason why with scones that I like to start with cold butter, or most recipes I hope start with cold butter, it helps add a layer of flakiness. A lot of pastries, especially when you're making just pastry in general, it's cold butter and you cut it in and it just, oh my god, it's just melt in your mouth. It's so crunchy and delicious. So we're not going for crunchy, but we want layers with these scones. We want them to be flaky, and this will help. Okay, now I'm gonna get my wet ingredients and just pour it in slowly and incorporate it with my hands. So for sweetener, I usually do a coarse sugar for this, but instead I'm gonna use maple syrup, which I think is also gonna add an extra bit of moisture. I'm gonna do 1/4 cup to start, and then we're gonna see how she goes. All right, sleeves up, ready go. Okay, my hands are washed. So I'm just gonna start mixing this with my hands because I don't want to overmix the scones. If you overmix them, they will be more firm and not as flaky as we want. Maybe I'm gonna start with the spoon though, just to get it together. We're gonna see that matcha color start to show. Oh my god, I can smell the matcha off this and unreal. These are gonna be unreal. They're incorporated enough where I can probably get my hands in here. So this is gonna get a little messy, but it's gonna be worth it in the end. You just want to kind of play with it until it's just combined. This dough is pretty much all together. I'm gonna clean my hands off and then we're gonna clean up this counter and I'll show you guys how I'm gonna form my scones. I'm gonna just flour my pastry board and we're gonna get to work. I'm just gonna form a little ball with it. So I got this ball, and to get that nice cone shape that you get with scones, I'm just gonna cut it and then that will section it off beautifully. Just one right down the middle. I always notice when you see a scone, they have these little cut marks and these little ridges, and this is where it helps puff everything up. So I'm just gonna transfer these to my baking sheets.
Matcha scones?
Matcha coconut scones.
With, what's the third ingredient?
With maple syrup.
Oh.
Let me do maple syrup glaze.
Yeah.
Alright, so before my scones pop out of the oven, I'm just gonna get a maple glaze together. Once again, using my other ingredient here. So I'm gonna use a half a cup of icing sugar. Just gonna kind of eyeball it. And then I'm just gonna add some maple syrup. Since it is a liquid, it's gonna bring this down to a nice glaze texture. I might have to add some milk as well, but this will give it the flavor at least. Yeah, I'll definitely have to add some milk. Yeah, this is not working without milk. I was underestimating how fast icing sugar absorbs this, so I'm gonna go grab some milk. Baking is about trial and error, okay? Perfect. All right, my scones should be coming there. Oh my god, that's such perfect timing. This is possibly the best flavor of scone I have ever tried. It is the perfect amount of flakiness. The coconut doesn't overpower the matcha at all. They complement each other so well. I am stunned at how well this turned out, and I will have to do another food challenge again with Sydney. The maple glaze adds the perfect amount of sweetness. I don't like when my scones are overpoweringly sweet, so this is stunning. Thank you so much everyone for watching the video that we posted today. Hopefully more challenges like this will come up. If you have any other ideas, feel free to comment them below. If you wanted us to try any more food combinations, let us know. Be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for when I have videos going on, and I will see you guys for my next video. Thank you so much for watching Cooking with Sal.